Hell yeah! And welcome to episode 76 of the Temple Bar podcast with me, Jim Win and Philip Noone. And today we are joined by Jayne Pomplas.
Jayne Pomplas, you're very welcome, Jayne.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Jayne, you're a phenomenal... I'm going to start this by saying you're a phenomenal musician. I've seen you countless times and I've seen you work with countless people. And your versatility is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen, because I've seen melody players and I've seen fiddle players and banjo players, and I've seen, and some of them can't adapt to a musician's style. I've never seen anybody stand in with a musician and just adapt to their style the way you do. Like, if somebody's playing fucking Highway to Hell, you're there. Do you know what I mean? If someone's playing a reel or a jig, you're there. Like, it's very impressive.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
It's very impressive. So you've been in Ireland now for about
11 years.
11 years, but it didn't start in Ireland.
It didn't. I grew up in upstate New York.
Okay.
So way out.
Yonkers?
Way further. Sort of about 4 hours west of there. Kind of in the Finger Lakes.
Okay.
Oh, lovely.
That's near Woodstock and near Ithaca. There's a couple of universities.
I know Ithaca from Eurotrip. Or no, a Road Trip. Do you ever see Road Trip?
Yeah.
That's the only... I've seen Ithaca University.
So it's really cold winters, really hot summers, that kind of...
Yeah. There's 4 seasons. There's seasons. A spring and an autumn as well.
Right.
Good stuff.
You call it a fall. Though.
Fall.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So you started in...
Upstate New York.
Upstate New York.
And I grew up playing Irish music.
Right.
And... would come over to Ireland every summer.
Was there any reason for why Irish music?
I was really, really obsessed with a band called the Chieftains, actually.
Yeah.
But my dad, neither of my parents play music, but my dad he still has it, an incredible record collection. So I remember being like a small child and just going through his records, and then I'd see a cover that I liked, and then I'd put it on, and I think from the age of like 3, I was really, really into Irish music, and I kept asking for lessons. And my parents were doing some research, and they were like, who would teach a 3-year-old? Yeah. But there's a method of teaching called Suzuki, which it's a Japanese sort of methodology of teaching, and it's teaching by ear and involving the parents as well. So like the parent will come to the lesson and sort of learn the lesson to teach at home to the child. So it's kind of like reinforcing that hour. Every day of the week. And so they found a Suzuki teacher in the area who actually happened to play Irish music as well. And so she kind of pointed us in the direction of...
It's just like, we found a Suzuki teacher.
I wonder if...
Jayne comes in, boom.
I wonder if that's, like, when you say that way to learn to me, what I immediately put together is that something that helped you be able to, like, fit the vibe of any different kind of...
100%. Yeah. And, like, I remember really clearly... sort of learning, and I remember the moment I realized that if I heard something and I could hum it or sing it in my head or out loud, I could figure it out on the instrument. I think I was about like maybe 5, and I was like this eureka moment. I was like, and then that was such a light bulb moment.
Was it fiddle your
like
first
a
instrument?
synesthesia type thing, is it? Do you think? You don't see colours or anything like that, jazz?
I see all sorts, but
Depends.
It depends. Not quite. It's more so the
pitch.
Like the instrument is just a tool for like what's in my brain. I think. Yeah. So it'd be the same, similar to singing. Yeah. Like if you're
not thinking about it. It's just
it's just like I'm getting what's in here in my head.
Yeah.
Like out through my fingers with.
Yes.
Tool.
So the instrument is like it's like having another arm. It's not like having a separate thing. Yeah.
And they saw it like I'm blessed that I started playing so young, and I'm really, really grateful to my parents as well for being willing to facilitate that.
That's a thing, because I have a 3-year-old son and his mom's German, so he speaks fluent German and English. And it's he doesn't have to think about it, so it's similar. When you're young and something just becomes second nature to you. It's not like you have to learn something.
No, it's savage.
Becomes second nature.
And when you were a child, you said you were coming over to Ireland. So did your parents decide, let's bring her to Ireland, and we brought to the West Coast first? Was it Galway or was it Dublin? Or
I think the first time I came over, I travelled with my mum the first time, and then the other years after that with my little brother as well. But I was going over to go to the flat.
Okay.
I think it was the first year. It might have been in Tullamore, I think. but we travelled around the West Coast as well.
Right.
And I had met a good few musicians from Clare who would come over to Irish music festivals in the States. So we knew people already and sort of like did this like magical trip visiting people that had come over to the States that I already knew. And like, you know, we repeated that sort of thing every summer.
Yeah.
And I have such fond memories of just coming over to Ireland and, you know, doing a circuit of all
Meeting everybody back up, like, you know,
The Fla's magic.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
So I'm from Cavan originally, and we had the Fla in Cavan for 3 years in a row. And just what the Fla brings to us, like to a small town like Cavan. I remember seeing like there was 60, 70,000 people in Cavan. And when you put 60, 70,000 people in a small place like Cavan, it's magic.
Yeah. And I think actually I remember the Cavan Flas. They were the first ones that I was off drinking on my own. With that.
There you go.
Like I escaped them and now my friends.
I was there drinking as well.
You probably saw him. You probably bumped into each other.
Ah, madness. Yeah, no, it was great crack. But right, so that was early on. And then did you decide, like, at what point in your life did you go, right, music's going to be it?
Pretty early on, probably. Like I was always doing creative things. I was homeschooled and had hippie parents, so I was always, you know, writing stories or drawing,
creativity.
or like, you know, playing out in the woods. Like we didn't have cable television, so and they were kind of not that they were anti-screen, but there was so many other things just there for me to do growing up, and I always did write a lot. And I think that at a few points, I was like, oh, I might pursue that. Or I wanted to be a film director at one stage. But I definitely...
Never too late.
Exactly. But I definitely kind of always knew that I would be playing music. And like I was performing from a pretty young age as well. Like myself and my brother used to do all these gigs at nursing homes.
Does your brother play music now?
He would still play a bit, but he's very athletic. He's
Right.
into sports and he's a swimmer. And like we used to do like all sorts of gigs, and then I was teaching like local kids as well, and just always playing. And I think when I was about 16, I decided I want to live in Ireland, and I spent about a month or two over in Ireland on my own. Like in the summer, I stayed on and just went to loads of things. And then I moved over here on my own when I was 17, and I moved to Ennis.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Clare, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Clare. I have a cousin down in Ennis, actually. So my cousin Jeanette, she's married to a guy, his name's Shawnee McGrath.
I know Shawnee.
Do you know Shawnee?
Yeah,
So obviously Ireland, but he makes bowrons and things like that. I think he plays the Bazooki. Yeah. So Shawnee's married to my cousin Jeanette.
No way. Small world. So you probably know some people I know. So I knew lots of musicians from Ennis, and when I moved over, I lived in a house with Hugh Healy, Brian Mooney, and who's the other one? I can't remember. But they were just like, now they would have been a good bit older than me, but they would have known me from when I was a kid. So you know, it was very welcoming. It wasn't like moving into a brand new place.
But I think that's the thing about Irish music as well across the world, and you know, a lot of Irish musicians listen to this, and you know, it does have that sense of community, and wherever you go, there's probably, in traditional Irish music, there's probably not many people wouldn't know who you are.
Probably, yeah.
You know, it's like that. You know, that sense of community.
It's a big. There's a lot of people, but it's a small community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean? And but see, there's very few people that play Irish music that I wouldn't know.
I've come across once or twice.
Or like, even if I hadn't met them, I would have heard about them or heard their music or something like that. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
It's an amazing thing to be a part of.
Yeah,
and it is. It's like it can take it because Irish pubs are such a big thing, and like, you can go anywhere in the world and play Irish music. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
It's like the pub and the music go together.
It's
and there's anywhere you go in the world there'll be Irish music and Irish pubs.
Yeah, it's actually quite remarkable. I've been one of the strangest places that I've played Irish music is in Oman, like in the Middle East.
Yeah,
in Muscat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like there's this little Irish bar there that's like upstairs, hidden in this weird little shopping center with armed guards, and because they have a license, but it's still like frowned upon.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's like they go through like these two secret doors and like go upstairs, and there's guys with like rifles there, just buzzing around.
Protecting the crack.
Yeah,
Protecting the crack.
And nobody's
It's like going to a pub in Coolock.
Big shout out to Dale Ronnie Mason.
Up the flats.
Yeah, but it's mad. And like, you know, they'd be really enjoying the music, even though in the culture over there they don't dance.
Yeah,
they wouldn't get up
They're
and
not
dance.
like outgoing, like or as physically outgoing anyway.
Yeah, well, they'd be sitting there really enjoying it and getting absolutely pissed. But,
Oh, they get pissed as well, yeah.
yeah. Well, some of them.
Yeah. Oh no, so I lived in Doha for years, and I've been in Oman a couple of times. I was never in that bar, but I've been in Oman a couple of times. That's where Avicii died.
Really?
Avicii died in Oman. Yeah.
Did he? Yeah.
Apparently, he used to go there just to kind of clear his head every now and again, but went and cleared it
Thought it was an email.
permanently at one stage. But yeah, that's where Avicii died. He died in Oman. But right, so you moved to Ireland when you were 17.
Yeah.
That's a big move, isn't it?
It's a
I know you've
huge
been
move.
before, but by yourself, like to decide to do it.
Yeah, I kind of, you know.
Kind of sounds like your heart was always in Ireland, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and part of it was probably I had, you know, a sort of rambling itch, and I wanted to go far away, but also go somewhere where I knew people.
Yeah.
So I moved over and pretty much stayed. Like I went back a couple of times. Like I went back for about 3 months, and then did a big tour across the States a few years later. But then since then I've lived here the whole time.
Right. Have you ever done any ships or anything? Have you done anything like that?
I've done a couple of cruise ships. Not in years. I did a Disney cruise from Belfast to Canada. It's the route of the Titanic.
Right.
In the winter. It was
See any icebergs?
loads of them. It was horrifying. And like
Going straight ahead though.
and like you couldn't go out of the decks because it was like frozen. So you're just in this like claustrophobic.
Stuck. Yeah.
So that wouldn't recommend that one.
That's heavy because when the Titanic was going down, the fiddle players were playing "Nearer My God" to Thee. You know,
Yeah.
That was the last thing people heard on the boats and all. Heavy.
Yeah, so that was fun. But it stopped off in Nova Scotia, which is really cool.
So Nova Scotia and Newfoundland.
Oak Island is there. I used to love that show on Discovery. It was like Oak Island. They have some buried treasure. They don't know, but they think there's some Templar buried treasure there or some. All these they found all these secret passages. And,
Amazing.
yeah.
Oak Island. That's in Nova Scotia, is it?
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know that.
It's not that they have almost like Irish accents.
Yeah.
still,
So I think Newfoundland. Have you done any gigs there in St John's or Labrador?
I stopped off in St John's and Labrador, but I wasn't performing there. It was just kind of one of the stop offs on that.
Because I know Garode and I know Dan McCabe and Garode McCarthy. I know the boys do loads over there. George Murphy's actually going over. George from the podcast a couple of weeks ago. George's going over doing a couple of gigs there now as well. I was supposed to go before COVID, and then the whole thing fucking. I'll tell you something. Before COVID, I was supposed to do a gig up on Svalbard.
Oh right.
So it's an island above Norway, where it has 1,500 people and 3,000 polar bears. So you have to go out. You have to have a
2 polar bears for every man.
For every fella, there's two, for every man and woman, there's 2 polar bears. But you need someone with a gun whenever you go outside because you can get attacked by polar
It's like
bears.
being an old man.
Yeah, exactly.
And so there is those fucking mad. Now listen, I'm not saying Nova Scotia is one of those mad islands, but they're like they have that thing. Like isn't it Scots and Irish?
Yeah,
kind of inhabited the islands.
And that was the kind of the only people that stayed.
Right.
So the
only people that could. They were like,
I'm used to this island life. It'd be doing me. Yeah.
Few
Raining sideways.
few pints and we'd make the best of it.
Yeah, no, literally. And the music scene is over there it's very similar to Irish. Like now there's slight rhythmic differences and like the ornamentation is different because it obviously evolved differently, but it's the very same aside from like natural progressions. Like obviously the musicians who would have gone over there were the sort of like the grandfathers of that new tradition over there. So the playing would have evolved from just that small pool. Yeah. Whereas in Ireland there was obviously way more musicians. So like
mixing up together as well. Yeah.
So but it's amazing.
So it's almost like not just musical. It's ontological.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's another island in the Caribbean. I'm not sure if you've seen that, but there was a load of people from Kerry that were brought with slaves.
Oh no! So Jamaica's like that as well, and that's where they get like they've got like Cork accents or something.
I can't remember what it's.
There was a huge thing on TikTok there. There was like there was a fella from Kerry, a politician, like going, oh, yeah, and there was like loads of people from Jamaica made TikToks going, man, bumba clat, this man's speaking my language.
It's very funny, like.
So it's a Caribbean island, and that's where they. So somebody told me that in the 1700s, that you could just go. So it wasn't being advertised as like you're going to be a slave, but it was like you could go and you could work on these plantations.
Yeah.
But it was just slavery.
Yeah.
And loads of Irish were like, should we get a bit of fucking sun and we'll go out and we'll.
Famous last words. I watched a thing last night about a German family they went into Death Valley in the US.
Right.
And they went off road in a two-wheel drive family van. Anyway, so they burst all the tires and they ended up getting found 15 years later. It was the bones of a family of 4 Germans. No one knew where they were.
Is Death Valley that big?
What?
Is Death Valley?
Huge.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. But no one knew where they were because they were supposed to go to different places. And it happened in the 80s or the 90s, early 90s I think it was. So nobody knew where they were. So they weren't even reported missing for 91 days.
Wow.
Do you know something? That's a couple, right? Who had a fight.
They were both drinking. As well.
No, but that's it. And they had a fight.
Well, they had loads of alcohol in the car.
Had a fight, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to go nowhere." And she said, "Yeah, well, I'm not going either." And the two of them just sat there and just turned the bones.
The 2 kids there. Can we go? There's 2 kids as well.
Man, no.
No, fuck that.
Fuck them. So that, Jesus Christ, that's
I remember a family road trip when I was a kid across the States that very well could have ended up
We were only one turn away.
Oh man, like it was my mom's sister was getting married in Colorado, and now my parents weren't together at the time, but they thought it would be a brilliant idea to bring me and my brother. I was 13.
Lock everybody in the car together.
Well, yeah. Well, so I was 13. I was a little shit when I was 13, and my brother was about 7. So neither of us were at the most agreeable of ages, and I'd been in trouble because I think I ran away or did something like that. But I was kind of in trouble, and so we were driving across. We ended on a 3-week road trip together, and it was the middle of August, about like 30 degrees. The air conditioning broke in the pickup truck, and so. And we were like staying in separate tents. We all had to set up our tents, and something else broke. So all we had was this one audiobook that was working, and
in the car.
So we were listening to this. I can't remember what it was, but it was about these 2 kids
on tape.
Yeah, and like. And these 2 kids got turned in like ant size, and they were going to live with the ants. And the narrator had a really annoying voice, and all I could remember was like, "Cousin Craig," every time.
It's mad.
Cousin Craig, and it's like burned into my brain. And I just remember like it was there. We saw some beautiful things, and like there are nice memories, but like
no. I can imagine. Yeah. No, of course.
At that,
it's a bit like if you think of it like. Christmas, it's beautiful from the macro version, but then when it comes down to the day and all, there's always a bit of fucking fighting and.
But that's the thing
that's because people are stressing out because they want it to be a certain way,
and everybody looks at Christmas through like rose tinted. You know, they're like, it'd be great to have everybody back again. And all. Everybody's back, and in 5 minutes, like, see,
the fuck I did it! You fucking supposed to do that. Yeah, it's the same with road trips as well. You know, it's like. We're going to see the country. We're going to bond.
Especially when you're going across
We're going
America.
to listen to the same audiobook over and over again.
Cousin Craig. But like upstate New York to Colorado's a drive.
Yeah. Like
that's a few days.
I'd say it would be 4 days without sightseeing. And like, now I remember we went, like I think I've been to every state on like mainland America. I actually haven't been to Alaska or Hawaii. But, you know, it's like we went across sort of Oklahoma and then down south a bit and then back up through Arizona and Nevada and like so all the desert areas and it's just the variation in landscape is incredible and it's really way too big to be one country as well.
Oh, it's massive.
It's massive. It kind of is. Like the United States, it's like 50 countries that they just go under kind of one thing. But it's like that, yeah. A lot of big countries are like that, like India as well. There's places where you can go skiing in India. Where I'd never even think of that. Like the north of India, it's got skiing and mountains. And Australia as well, some of it's like rainforest.
New Zealand has glaciers at the bottom.
Yeah. So whenever we think of somewhere, we usually kind of picture a certain... Like if I think of Australia, I think of the outback.
Yeah.
Or if I picture India, I picture like deserty kind of vibe. But like some of the countries are such big land masses that they have...
Well, I'll tell you something. I was just thinking of the vibe there. But do you know Ravi Shankar?
Yeah.
So Ravi Shankar is a very famous Indian sitar player. It was just when you said that. So his daughter Anushka Shankar is very famous in her own right. She's a sitar player, I think. And then his other daughter, his half daughter, is Norah Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a man!
I know.
I don't think you can take all the credit.
No, do you know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like, you know, like two daughters, two different ethnicities in two different countries, and both of them become massively successful.
Yeah, and they're both
Nepo babies.
I know they are. They're not Nepo babies.
Well, I mean, they're the good Nepo babies.
Yeah,
like,
just come here. Like it's
they're allowable Nepo
a
babies.
lot of people say
Jesus,
that
Norah Jones,
the
come
Nepo
on.
baby thing is like it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can help you open some doors, but also
Baron Trump's a
Sean,
Nepo
Sean Lennon is never going to have a hit. It's not going to happen. Like no matter what he did, even if he wrote a song better than
Even like Nancy Sinatra. Like,
yeah, anyone like that.
Like that. These Boots is not a very good song. I was watching this clip on. It was on the Late Late Show, like in the 90s, and it was two footballers and then these two women. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. They were doing a version of These Boots. Now the two lads, the footballers, couldn't sing.
Right.
And the girls were like, all right. I think they were doing like this ABBA thing.
Right.
And one of the footballers had like his boots with him. And I think he was meant to clap them together. So they did this like monotone version of like dun 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 dun.
These
dun,
boots
dun,
are made for walking.
Yeah, literally. And your man forgot to do the boot thing. And then the two girls are like, come on. And it's the most
We
crazy
fucking
thing.
practiced this in the back.
But yeah, like that song.
John Barnes had to be one of them. John Barnes.
Yeah, but that song we would never hear it or have to play it. If,
No.
You know, her dad wasn't Frank Sinatra.
And it's very popular.
It's very popular.
It's one of those ones that there are songs like that are surprisingly popular that really shouldn't be.
It's got a kind of a, you can see it fitting in a lot of films, and you know, like it's kind of one of those. It lends itself to a lot of different kinds of content. Like if you think of a film when someone's walking away, it's like these boots are made for walking.
Oh yeah,
it's like it's an easy one to slip in there.
Jayne, you're working on an album.
I am.
Is this your first? Have you ever recorded an album before?
I've recorded lots of albums. Oh, I have 4 albums of traditional music.
Okay.
So Irish music. I have one with a guy called Luke Deaton on accordion that I really love that one. And then I have 3 solo albums that I recorded. Like the first one was when I was still back in the States, and they're all just collections of tunes.
Are the instrumentals.
Yeah. So all like very traditional music.
Yeah.
And then I do a lot of session work. So I've played on tons of albums like over the past 10 years.
Have you played on anything massive? Like, have you played on anything that we know? Like, have you?
I played strings on Mick Pyro's last album, Exit Pyro.
Yeah.
It's a great album.
Mick Pyro from the Republic of Loose, phenomenal singer.
Oh, he's incredible. That was really fun. A very kind of like not. I didn't think that, like before I did the strings, I wouldn't have imagined. I just got a call one day, and that ended up being a really great project. What else would I have been on? I played fiddle on a song on the Darkness, this latest album.
I love the darkness.
Yeah, so
Love the darkness.
yeah, I played fiddle on a song called "Cold Hearted Woman."
Right.
I think that Dan Hawkins actually wrote that song, but it's on their latest album.
Right. I don't think I've heard it.
I recorded the strings in my kitchen. I was living in Jobstown at the time,
Yeah.
and I recorded it at home and sent it
yeah?
over. Yeah.
I like his Justin Hawkins YouTube channel.
Oh, it's
as well.
brilliant. It's very
class,
good. Yeah.
That's cool.
The Darkness
That's very cool.
Have some belters. Like talk about. They've got a song that was rock and roll called "Rock and Roll Deserves to Die." Have you heard that one?
Yeah,
It's like to me, it's like a Bohemian Rhapsody at the time, but it never went. Like it never did anything big commercially. But it's a fucking amazing song.
Yeah, the two of them are brilliant musicians.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jayne, if you could describe like your new album as a flavour of ice cream.
Or gelato.
No. So for anybody who doesn't know, that was a question that came up in a recent interview with Jayne.
It's the strangest question I've ever been asked.
Describe something as a flavour of ice cream. I'd be like, get off me phone. Get off me phone.
But like, I have ADHD. I was really like specific about it.
It's ADHD and
yeah, but like, the guy was like flabbergasted
that
at
took me
the.
far too long. HB. Sorry, did you get that took me far too long.
No, sometimes I like to throw weird puns in and you don't even notice. But what do you find when you're recording your own albums or when you're doing session work? You have to kind of use a different switch, like, because obviously you've got the creative control when it's your own album. When you're doing session work, are you just trying to find something to fit the song, or are you still trying to give it your own flavour?
It completely depends. Yeah. So I play strings on recordings for that band Brick Nasty a bit. Right. So like they're brilliant.
I know her name. I don't think I've fucking pictured.
So if I'm doing that, I just get a call, and then Johnny from Brick Nasty, he never sends me anything in advance. So I'd be going in completely blind and just hearing something for the first time and seeing what happens.
And does he let you just run amok with that? Right. Would he be like and just? So
the other time he'd be like, "Oh, do this," but he kind of, I think he would bring me in to get a completely different.
Yeah. He wants that. He wants that. Yeah. He wants a more chocolatey.
Yeah.
Make it more chocolate.
Yeah, and then then there's other times where I'd go in and somebody wants a specific thing. Like I did a song, played some fiddle for Aaron Rowe on a track recently, and that song I had a very
Aaron and Jim are really good friends.
Yeah, I know.
He's brilliant. I don't actually think that track actually got used, but it was so great to see him because I hadn't seen him in years. Since he's gotten, since he's big and famous.
Since he's Ed Sheeran's friend now.
Yeah. I was looking last night. Did you see that his gig was cancelled?
Yeah, he got hit
mid song.
Yeah,
he was singing last night.
And that's a good thing because he would be the kind of man to get hit by lightning as well.
He was singing in Denver, middle of a song, and the next thing this thing came over the town. He was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have to cut the concert." Like mid song, he had to stop singing, and he had to walk straight off the stage because there was a lightning strike very close, and like. Imagine getting a bang of lightning.
I really wanted to get struck by lightning when I was a kid. I was obsessed with that idea, and I was like, if that only happens, I'll get magical powers.
Superpowers.
I remember running around with a rake in the back garden during a thunderstorm.
It's either hold the rake in the sky or get bit by a spider.
Yeah.
Your mother or father outside the window, you're just dead.
You already have a superpower, autism.
Yeah, exactly. But I would never have gotten hit by lightning because there are tall trees around. So they just let me at it.
Let her go. Let her cook. Literally.
Oh, jeez, good.
Some people lightning, like a lot of things. We draw kind of patterns of things. So a lot of people who get hit by lightning get hit by lightning multiple times.
I know. It was how that expression, lightning doesn't strike twice. It's completely wrong.
Yeah. But say that to anybody who's been struck by lightning once.
Yeah. It's such a cool scar as well. Like I've seen a few lightning scars, and it's like this mad zigzag
like down
thing.
their
It's
backs
crazy.
and down
yeah.
legs.
Oh, is there? You actually get?
No, it's so cool. It looks like lightning. It's like a free tattoo.
But could it kill you as well? Like,
it can kill you, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't tend to usually kill you.
Just before just before I launch myself out into the garden with the rake.
And sometimes you wouldn't even know. You might get struck by lightning, and you'd only just get that hair standing up,
right?
Feeling because you could get struck by lightning. That wouldn't kill you probably, but you could just get a zap.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't.
And you just ground it straight away.
Yeah.
If you're wearing bigger rubber soles or something.
Yeah, because I heard some fella had a metal buckle on his hat, and the metal buckle got hit, and his whole head was burnt, and the back of his neck and stuff was burnt. But
that's mad.
Crazy.
I was over in the UK last month doing a couple shows, and I was recording a piano for my new album. I brought my recording equipment, and my good friend Jazz DeLorean lives on a houseboat on the Thames River, outside London. And
it's like one of the canal boats.
It's not. It's a riverboat. Right. So it's quite far up the Thames River.
I saw the videos; they were very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, he's an amazing musician. But we had done a gig and we were driving back to the boat, and now the boat is on the river, obviously. But between the road and the river, there's a big, massive meadow.
Right.
Now, there was a crazy lightning storm as we were driving back from the show. Right. And so there was the two of us, and he has two dogs that were with us as well. Right. So it was the four of us, kind of, we're both a bit jumpy, and so are the dogs. So there's these four things, sort of really wiggly people and dogs. And we're the only moving or tall things in the entire meadow, lightning everywhere. And they were like, "Oh fuck, we forgot to take down the wind turbine on the boat, which is this big 20-foot metal pole up into the sky.
We're never going to get struck at this rate."
And so we managed to get that down, and it's actually a boat is kind of one of the safest places you can be,
right?
If you're to get struck by lightning, because once it's not a wooden boat, like if it's a sort of metal boat.
Yeah, it's the same with a car.
Yeah.
The metal sends it around, it dissipates it like that.
But it was very exciting.
Yeah.
You're fucking educating me on lightning today. I didn't have a clue, but I didn't have a clue about any of this.
I remember there being a lot more thunder and lightning when I was younger. When I was
but there's mad. The World Cup's being delayed by
loads
of lightning.
France game was 2 hours delayed there last week.
Fucking hell, there you go.
When I was in Germany a week ago or so, the weather was like 40 degrees most of the days, and in the nighttime there was I don't remember seeing so much lightning with so little thunder. There was like one crack of thunder and then like 100 things of lightning.
That's mad.
It must have been thunder somewhere else far away, but
yeah. I remember, I have fond memories of loads of big thunderstorms back in the States, and that's something you don't really see that too often in Ireland.
No. Well, so you're the way kind of northern in North America.
Yeah.
Do you have kind of the tall trees the way they'd be over kind of Seattle, Northern California? Do you have that, or is it more?
It would kind of be not quite as tall.
Right.
I'd say it'd be similar to some parts of, I suppose,
parts of Wicklow, just kind of.
Yeah, and maybe there's a few more taller, not
redwoods.
Not redwoods, but like
tall oaks and maple trees and ash trees. So deciduous. That's the word.
That's a beautiful place to grow up too.
It happens. I think does it happen a lot in kind of open with not too mountainous? Is that where the lightning happens most, or is it?
It could be anywhere. Where I grew up is kind of all rolling hills, and you'd see it more if it's open. So if you're at the top of a hill, you're driving, you'd see it more over the valleys.
Yeah, but you can see it even if it's miles away.
Yeah, and I remember we used to go down to my granddad's place in Delaware, which is down. It's down on the way if you were going through North and South Carolina to Florida.
I know Delaware from Wayne's World. Do you remember? Do you remember Delaware? we're in Delaware.
He obviously missed the lightning strikes. That's what place to go.
Yeah. But I remember my granddad had this beach shack. It's called Brog Hill Beach, and really run down. Just this kind of, but it was beautiful, and it had one of those covered sort of porches with the screens. I remember being able to watch a thunderstorm come in across the bay, and you could see it miles and miles away, but then it would be an hour and a half before all the rain. So you'd be sitting there watching the thunder and lightning just come closer and closer and closer.
Yeah, that must be savage. That must be what happened in Germany, because I was looking at the top of the house and I could see the lightning was nearly past the horizon. So it was you can just see it for and it's you just see the forks. It's it takes when it's farther away, it looks bigger or something.
Yeah.
That's fun. Well, this week's episode of the Temple Bar Podcast is sponsored by the Discovery Channel, and called it
Sponsored by lightning.
Sponsored by lightning. No, listen, you're educating me here on the lightning. So, would you say that this album? How does it reflect what you? So you've done traditional Irish albums.
Yeah.
What kind of style, would you say you've done this in? Would you?
So it's an album of mostly original music. It's songs that I wrote.
Okay.
And I've always written, and I've been writing songs for a long time, but it's only since COVID that I really started even singing them in public or putting anything up, because I'm so comfortable with the fiddle.
Yeah.
That it's, I don't know, at the time, I suppose I feel differently now, but for a long time I was really uncomfortable singing, because I was just way better on the fiddle than singing, or definitely playing guitar. And it's a strange thing when, especially people that reacting to you sing, because oh, but she's great in fiddle. And
I know what you mean.
It's this weird thing. Yeah. And so it took me a long time to actually start doing that.
Well, in terms of the writing, right? So the performing is one thing, but in terms of the writing, because you mentioned you had ADHD there. So how honest were you when you wrote this? Because I've always found, and I think we spoke about this before, because you write very honestly. When he's writing, he writes very open and very honestly. But I write music dependent on how I think people are going to perceive it. And I think I guard and hold a lot back.
That's interesting. I think it depends on the song. Like, so I actually only got an ADHD diagnosis about 2 years ago, and it changed my life immeasurably for the better. And it was around that time that I decided to stop doing a lot of the pub gigs I was doing. So I wasn't happy, and I was starting to get panic attacks all the time because I was just like getting complete sensory overload all the time. And I had this whole, one of these like whole I have to change my entire life right now kind of things. And I'm so glad that I did. Because over COVID, I was writing songs all the time, and I was so happy, and I had like all this free time for the first time in years. Because I was always so busy doing gigs that I never had any time, and I loved not that I loved all of COVID, but I loved
it as well.
I had a great time. I had a brilliant time, and I remember I'd be staying up all night writing songs and going for a long walk in the park in the morning, and then I could sleep for the rest of the day if I wanted.
Yeah, of course.
And it was just like total freedom to do that. And I have some songs that I've written that are very, very honest. I suppose not all my music would be honest, but sometimes it's not a song about any experience I've ever had.
Right.
I might be writing a song about somebody else,
of course,
or somebody else's experience.
Yeah,
that's a lot of the time. I find like the kind of most normal way is that you put yourself into an experience and you write from that perspective. But then when you're writing it from your own experience, then it's hard to be more honest.
So what I find, especially from writing like that. So for me, I was diagnosed when I was 13 with ADHD. So I kind of knew my whole life that there was just something like. But when I write something, I write it and go, no, I can't let anybody know that about me. I'll have to reword that so that they think it's something else. Yeah. So like I write that and I'll go, okay, whoa, like that came out of me. I'm like, okay, I now know that about myself. Now let's fucking change it really quick before anybody sees that.
I definitely
change I to we.
Change I to he.
Yeah. Like it's actually funny. There's definitely a few songs that I've written that I have to at some point when I'm ready. Like even though so the album's finished, it's mastered, it's been sent off to be printed, and it's coming out on September 11th.
What a day for an album launch!
And the album's called "This Is How the World Ends."
Oh,
duality's collapsing.
Dualities are collapsing.
But it's an album of songs that I wrote about experiences kind of growing up.
Okay.
So I turned 27 last year, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do everything this year. So like I decided I was going to do an album. I wrote a play that was on a big theatre festival in Smock Alley. I did, and I was in India. I was in where was I? I recorded an album in Istanbul of like experimental music.
So the album's out when?
September 11th.
When do you turn 28?
July 20th.
That's soon.
That's July 20th. Yeah, no, that's okay. Wait, July 20th. Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, just mind yourself for the next 16 days.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Well, the album's done, it's fine.
Yeah. If you join the club, it'll be even bigger.
That's what I'm just saying. It's cool to join.
I was thinking about faking my death.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Like the four Germans.
It's cool to join the club, but it's cooler to see your album launch.
Might still be able to see it,
we're all about the spirituality on the Temple Bar podcast.
It's funny because I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was
26
or 27, and it was one of the worst things that happened to me because they put me on these tablets and all. And I don't think I ever really had it. I think I had more of a issue with anxiety, like more than anything else.
I think you have. No.
It's funny. Like,
well, I probably have it to some degree, but I don't think I needed to be medicated.
Like I remember going to my parents when I was like 11, and I had diagnosed myself. And like I had all the signs were there, but they were so, nurture, very like alternative people, and they managed to like create this beautiful space for me to grow up in. Like I could just play in the woods and do all these things, and so in that sort of, not that it was a sheltered environment, because I was out and about playing music all the time and around people.
But it's more tailored to creativity.
Completely. And the real world isn't like that. Yeah. And, I think I spent years of my early 20s, like, trying to force the world around me to
be like that.
And that's just, it's exhausting.
It makes a lot of sense.
It's exhausting. And yeah, so I
because the world isn't like that.
No, it's not.
You know, and
the general education is like they want people to be fit a certain.
Yeah, and you know the unfortunate thing is like probably at least half of people do fit into that.
Yeah.
And so like kind of that's a bit where the title comes from. This is how the world ends, because like you know, there's songs about me realizing that you know that's not.
Yeah.
That's
not you.
Yeah, and it's you know it's an album about growing up or kind of coming of age.
If you look at it as the Twin Towers, like creative people and intellectual people.
Yeah.
And we always say in the podcast is dualities are collapsing. I feel like we're coming into a time when the polarities of all these dualities are coming closer together. So you'll see more people who are creative and intellectual. Yeah. You'll see more people just like good and bad is more grey and black and white than it ever was.
Yeah, and it's like there's such a I don't know, like I'm really into quantum physics. Yeah. And like, you know, and I'm also really into like mythology. And I've noticed, you know, as I have gotten really into like both of those things, the play I wrote it was about it's like an Irish myth, but there's quantum physics in it as well. And it's like a multidisciplinary, there's like contemporary dancing, Sean-O's dancing, music, like, you know, so it's all of the sort of art forms that I enjoy watching, sort of all tied together. And like there's so many ancient myths that are basically explaining the quantum world just in a way that makes sense to people. And like then I think religion does a similar thing, but like somewhere when along the way, you know, it's like Nietzsche always says his famous saying, God is dead. Like around the time that was going on,
the supermensch.
Yeah, like around the time that was happening, there's definitely a void that is there in the world and with people, because there's like this lack of meaning for a lot of people, and I think that's probably part of a lot of the problems in the world right now is people like because they're not religious or they're
I think what it took was as religion kind of. I don't think you ever needed organizations for religion, but organizations anytime something gets big, an organization forms around it that wants to make itself bigger somehow.
Yeah, and like you know that's. But I think as people, like we need something to find wonder in, and like you know, and that's like there needs to be something like that. But I'd say you know, it's always in these weird, crazy times where something does happen. So
there's a big. In the youth of today, there's a re-emergence of Christianity as well.
Yeah, like and like a re-emergence of like sort of mythology as well. And I think you know, I think
and the wolf tones.
Oh yeah,
and the wolf tones.
I say like that their science becoming more popular as well would be amazing. Like you know, even like I'm not a scientist, but even then like learning about quantum physics, that's super magical. And if there's a way to like, you know, that can be
I think that quantum physics is I think we're, you know, there's a paradigm before Newton's laws and then after. And I think we're at a paradigm now where it's going to go from consciousness emerges from matter. And now we're slowly realizing that matter emerges from consciousness. Yeah. And that's where all the science now and quantum physics is leading. So we just have to get past, we have to just wait till that becomes the mainstream. I think it'll happen in the next.
It is happening, and like you know, especially with social media, people that have had like I had like a near death experience a few years ago, and like you know, it was the most incredible thing that I've ever experienced.
That's one of my main rabbit holes on
and
on
like,
YouTube,
because there's the internet. People are talking about things like that, and then like you know, it's actually accessible to other people, and you know, and I think that probably in the next 10 years, that void won't be there as much anymore because there'll be something the new.
Yeah,
and the same with AI. Like the truth, as we know it, like as we try to hang things as objective truth, is slowly just fading away. We're just realizing that everything is subjective because how can you have a truth without an observer to?
Exactly. Like there's a classic quantum physics experiment, like where it's called the double split
experience. Yeah.
And like so, they give a particle going through it does different things if somebody's watching it.
That's wild.
They're like playing tricks on you. They're cheeky.
That's wild.
So like,
So matter behaves differently when it's observed.
isn't that crazy?
And you can have two quantum particles can interact at infinite space.
Yeah,
so
and like so if say once there's like entanglement, so like once enough of the bits inside a particle have been shared, that's called entanglement. So wherever in the universe, the other it's mate.
Yeah.
It's like so that is measured somewhere, you're getting information about the other one.
That's fucking mad.
So the way I look at that now from a spiritual point of view
Christ.
would be that we're like what we see as a vast universe is really just a hologram where every part is the same. It's just it's like a hologram where if you look at any part of a hologram, the whole hologram exists within inside it.
Like maybe not like so not a hologram because that implies that there's something like lifting it, but it's like I kind of think of like a self-contained orb. So we're all at the same place at the same time, all at once.
We're just watching the sides of the orb go past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
I know you can fuck off now, the two of you. Nah, you went too far into that. Now. I was with you there
We
for
blew
a while.
Philip's mind.
I was with you there for a while, and then
let's go back to the lightning.
Lightning in a bottle.
You had me at lightning.
Actually, that's kind of a good analogy for it.
Yeah.
Like the universe, lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, that's.
Jayne, have you ever tried DMT or ayahuasca or?
I have, but I'll tell you what. I used to get really high fevers when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I have these fucking insane hallucinations.
Like out of body experience kind of thing.
All that stuff, and I was always able to do this out of body thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I actually, friends of my mom's who were like hippies, they definitely did too much acid in their youth, but they thought that I was like some sort of reincarnation of it wasn't the Dalai Lama, I don't know, something like that, but they used to come to me for like fortune telling and life advice,
like oracle.
Yeah. I was like 11, and I loved it, and I thought it was gas. It was just you know, but I used to be able to lucid dream as well, and like so like I do that it's like something in yoga where you can put yourself in the perspective from like sitting somewhere
remote
else.
viewing and stuff like that. Yeah,
and you know I was also like I didn't mind saying anything to somebody about what I thought of their life,
right.
and then like they used to like they were like giving my
brazen.
They were like giving my mom donations, and my dad was like, I was telling him about it. He was like, "What? No, this has to stop." But I used to because I had these like crazy hallucinations. I've tried DMT a couple times, and like it didn't do anything.
It didn't even reach what they were like. It was
and it's like I mean like a bit of a buzz or whatever, but it was nothing like the hallucinations I had like from a fever.
Wow.
It's a similar. I have tried all the psychedelics many times, and you get great visual experiences and stuff like that. But then I had a spiritual awakening, and that wasn't as visual, but it stuck with me more than any of those trips could ever do. Like it's with me all the time.
I think that my experience of like, well, technically I was dead, but like that experience was kind of like that. Like I came back.
Yeah.
Changed.
Yeah, you just
or not even changed. Just I don't know. Like it's just it's hard to describe, but it was definitely one of the most profound experiences I've ever had.
What happened?
Like it's like a completely accidental mixing of sleeping tablets, and I think I'd been spiked in town or something because there was methadone found in my system.
Oh yeah.
Now.
What would that be? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. Anyway, so like, I just went to sleep and like, didn't wake up, and it was 3 days later that I woke up in hospital, and apparently like, I'd just been out cold for like, like
Jesus
a long
Christ.
time. Like you know, I was chatting to the paramedics. They're like, we thought that like you were completely gone.
Fuck. Jeez, you were lucky.
I know, and I was incredibly lucky.
Do you remember anything from being?
Did you have the things? A lot of people have the near-death experience. They talk about life reviews and meeting people they knew and getting some kind of code of the source code and all this stuff.
It was kind of like slowly every bit of my body was like dissolving into this energy, but I was aware of each
particle,
particle, and then when I was completely dissolved, it was like I was aware of every single particle ever.
Fucking hell.
And it was just like
it goes back to the quantum physics, really.
And it was
they're all connected.
You just went back to the source.
Yeah.
But and it was like, so I knew my consciousness was still there, but every conscious, like, it was just, and it was like that,
It's like you've been looking through a window at something, and now you're looking down. You can see the whole thing.
And
360.
And it was just like, it was amazing. And I remember I didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
And
that's mad.
And I remember zeroing in, and I don't know how much of that, of like looking at myself in the hospital. But I remember looking at myself and I was like, oh no. And then I think I just decided to come back, but I really didn't want to because it was so peaceful.
That's mad.
Yeah, like it was absolutely wild.
Because he's big into the whole near death experience.
Yeah, I love watching them. They give me a lot of reassurance. I don't know whether it's reassurance. The Journey of Souls, that book was a really really good one for me. Like I love that. It's like it's something I'd recommend for anyone who's going through like grieving, or it's like basically it's a fellow who hypnotizes people and takes them back through past lives and in between lives, and everyone has like a different story but the same kind of contexts. And
and it's I've heard people talk about lots of different versions of that, but kind of the same conclusion. Like it might, but some people feel like it's like sinking into, or like sinking into a lake or something like that.
Yeah. It's just like what I would say is we're just manifestations. Like like a tree has different colored flowers, or it might have different. Each flower is unique in its own way, but they're all from the same source. And I think so. Whatever if we're into Jesus in this life, then when we pass,
you go to heaven.
Jesus. If you're into something else, you'll see something else.
Exactly,
You see whatever you need to see. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
it's interesting stuff. Yeah.
Jesus, that's mad. There you go. That's phenomenal. Like, and come here. Have you written any songs based around this experience? Is there anything on the album? Is there anything? Does it give you, since that happened? Because I knew Jim before.
Yeah.
Jim had his spiritual awakening. I knew Jim. Me and Jim knew each other when we were two mad bastards. Me and Jim lived in Cyprus together, and we were at a time in our lives where we probably needed something to believe in, but we didn't really believe in much. And we were heavy,
excess is what we believe in.
Heavy excess would be the only way.
I mean, I spent my early 20s like living in heavy excess and gigging in Temple Bar all the time.
Yeah.
It was a mad thing. And I've since calmed down a lot,
Yeah.
I think after I had that experience, it took about a year for me to start making changes in my life.
Okay.
But it was kind of the catalyst for...
Okay.
Like...
Because everything's a process.
Yeah.
Everything's a process,
But I think that was the start of it, I think.
Yeah.
Which was... I don't know.
That's my favourite word now. Since
Catalyst.
Catalyst, yeah. Because that's what everything is. Everything is it's the fuel that's pushing us in the direction, maybe not where we want to go, but it's where we need to go.
Yeah.
What we have to deal with,
Absolutely.
Like everything comes back around. All the things that we ignore or push away, it always comes back around. And once we can look at it straight on and integrate it, and then we can move on from that. That's catalyst, yeah.
Like that. The album. There's nothing on the album specifically about that. I've now actually in the process of finishing the album. I have an album's worth of new songs that I've written since then. Okay. But like everything on the album is kind of. It's a story of kind of. Up till then, maybe, and so it's kind of. Like from start to finish, it's like the learning curve of growing up.
Right. And would the album have many different styles, or have you focused on something? Have you gone like a
concept?
It's just me. Like there's songs on it. Like the first song on it is a bit like jazzy, like New Orleans-y jazzy.
Yeah.
And then, the next one is the single I actually released in May, hit single.
Okay.
That's the second track. And then the third track is a slow air called Farewell to the Corncrake, which is written by an amazing fiddle player. And, So I have loved that tune for ages, and then I play a tune that I composed after it. So that's real traddy, and I had John Francis Flynn play guitar on that track with me, and then so everything on the album is completely different, and that's something that I've really struggled with throughout my career, is how to like put all the things together. Like, how do I present as an artist with the fiddle, but then also singing my songs? So this album is kind of just like, okay.
Yeah,
here you go. I'm not trying to force
any
it.
kind of roadblocks in your way. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, as long as it makes sense to you.
Yeah, and it's like there's a definite order to the album as well, and I wish more people would listen to albums in order.
Yeah.
Or make them in order as well.
It's a forgotten way of life now at this stage.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to hear this.
Looking forward to hear it as well. Yeah.
Lovely stuff. And come here now. Is there anywhere anybody can see you live, or is there anything coming up? You were saying you were at Kaleidoscope yesterday.
Some of my students from Hollywood and Wicklow were doing a showcase, and they were brilliant.
Excellent. Good stuff. Well done.
Well done, students.
Yeah, they were great. I have a single launch in the Cobblestone on July 23rd.
Okay, excellent.
That's for a track coming out on the 17th called 99.
Okay.
And then I am playing at All Together Now with David Keenan on the Saturday.
Oh, lovely. Do you know David?
Yeah, we have a new album coming out.
So I'm a David Keenan fan.
Oh, he's amazing.
I love David Keenan. I've never met him. I don't know who he is, but I think he's fucking brilliant.
I think he's brilliant as well. We only met recently. He got in touch with me.
I know. Well, the name sounds familiar.
He's from Dundalk. He's fucking class. Yeah. He's class. I've been a fan of him for years.
And I had actually. I had never actually listened to him much, but he got on to me about doing this All Together Now gig.
Yep.
And so he's been playing recently with a banjo and bouzouki player.
All Together Now is going to be savage.
Oh, I'm really excited about that.
That's going to be incredible.
But anyway, so Darren had passed my name on to him, and he just messaged me on Instagram, and then he got on to me and asked would I come into the studio and do a day of recording. Yeah. And now I went in, and it was one of the most magical experiences I've had recording. Like, it was myself, David, and Darren. Now, we recorded the entire album live in the same room on that day.
Oh, lovely.
And Cian Sinnott was producing the album. And so there was a single from the album that came out on Friday, World of Refuge.
Oh, lovely.
So that's a great song.
You gotta listen to me on my way home.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good year, I think.
Excellent. Good stuff. Well, we wish you all the best from everybody here at the Temple Bar Pod. Thanks a million for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me.
Go and find Jayne wherever you can.
Wherever you can. So
don't forget, never forget, this September 11th.
This is how the world ends.
How the world ends. And the single launch, the 23rd. Where's that in the Cobblestone, did you say?
Yeah.
Cobblestone. And so to follow Jayne, it's Sweet Jayne on social media.
Sweet, the
underscore?
Underscore Jayne. Jayne.
Jayne. Sweet Jayne on every, and is it Sweet Jayne on? Will it be Sweet Jayne on Spotify?
It's actually Jayne Pomplas.
So it's Jayne Pomplas on Spotify.
But you'll find there's like a link tree on the Instagram, and I have a website as well, Jayne Pomplas.
Find her somewhere. You'll find her everywhere. Folks.
So JaynePomplas.com, or if you go to the Instagram, there's a link tree there, and it'll have everything. Go and pre-save the album on Spotify and things like that. The pre-saves are important.
Yeah,
they're good for and especially between now and September.
Good for the algo.
It could go get it up there, get it straight to number 1.
Yeah.
But so Jayne, thanks a million for coming in. Is there anything else you'd like to add before you go? Is there anything happening? Anything coming up? Or All Together Now will be savage.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That'll be incredible.
I'm buzzing for that. And I think I have a gig, another single launch on the 22nd of August in Chennai.
Okay, lovely.
And then
you park down near there, don't you?
I park there all the time as well. It's great, yeah.
Down at
And 22nd of August is my birthday as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. There you
I'll
go.
put you on the door.
There you go.
There you go.
I'll probably be parked outside anyway.
Oh, brilliant. And then the big album launch is the 25th of September in Deviate, which is on James's Street. They have lots of like underground events there, but it's a really cool venue.
I don't think I've heard of that place before, have you?
No.
You probably haven't. No, but I'm saying like underground events.
Nice.
But it's a great venue, and they have like
it's in a bomb shelter. The world will be the world's gone at that stage.
Yeah.
That's deadly.
So yeah, there's €5 pints all night at that, and I have tons of great guests.
Had me at €5 pints all night.
No, we'll be there. Yeah,
25th of
100%.
September.
Lovely.
So that's it for episode 76 of the Temple Bard podcast with me, Jim Win and Philip Noone. Thanks a million to Jayne Pomplas again for coming to join us. Let us know what you thought of this episode and other episodes. We'll see you next time.
Stay
bold.
Sláinte.